Angeles. Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Hey, everybody. It's time for your Browns Friday Fumble.
Hey, foul on it.
Don't try to pick it up and run. Don't try to make me do that voice again, because I will do that the entire episode. No one wants to hear it. My name is Dave.
I'm Dylan.
And we are here on a Victory Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
A second Victory Friday of the year.
That's the second time we've been able to say this, Dave.
We are in unfamiliar territory here at the Friday Fumble.
It's been a long time. It's been a long, lonely.
I want to buy a Cadillac now. Yeah.
So,
well, I watched the game. Did you watch the game?
I watched the game as well.
And this is legit time. This is not.
Yeah.
This is a very similar situation to the Country Living Fair. This actually happened.
Yes. I was actually in Houston. Some of you may remember them from last week. We won't go into why.
I don't even know what you could be talking to. The only reason you were in Houston was to visit family.
Nuptials.
There was some family there.
And long story short, I've been sitting in the airport on Sunday afternoon with some very like-minded Cleveland travelers who are all very, very angry about, well, we won't go into that part.
For reasons no one really knows. Everybody's mad in airports.
Yeah, well, needless to say, we're all in Browns gear. Everybody that's on the Cleveland flight is in Browns gear because we're not wearing the other gear.
Yeah, we're wearing some orange and brown. I wasn't there, but I'm going to pretend like I was.
Yeah, and so we stopped by the H Burger Bar in Terminal C, and we all crowd around. Our gate was ostensibly right behind us. It got moved and delayed. I wonder if it was on purpose. We'll never know.
We'll see. I mean, airport operations are pretty complicated.
Well, and, Houston kind of had a grudge at that point. So, anyway, we're all gathered around, and all of a sudden, we're standing for nigh on 3 hours.
Wow.
And we're all huddled up together, and by this time, none of us was going to swallow our pride and go sit down at a different restaurant or the like.
Right, you were in it for the long haul.
We're in it for the long haul. Nobody
Maybe a
is
short
breaking.
haul flight, but it's long haul.
Long haul watching business.
Yeah.
Nobody is breaking. We're all standing there, locking our knees, about to fall out when we get down to the end of overtime.
Wow.
And we're all looking at each other, thinking to ourselves, it can't happen again. Twice.
Another
in
tie.
the division, for God's sake. Our divisional record is about to be 2 ties.
That would be wacky.
Get out of my business, all right? So, we all joined hands, and we came together as a unit, and from Bush Intercontinental in Houston, Texas, we willed that little knuckleball over those crossbars together. And then we hugged. We literally hugged. I hugged a 70-year-old man. And then
stranger hugs after football wins are the best.
Oh, just the greatest. Just the greatest.
I shared some stranger hugs after the Jets win.
Well, so then we all migrate as a unit to our new gate and have to sit there with each other for 3 more hours.
I was expecting the story to end with the final boarding call being called as the Browns line up for the kick. But luckily, airports provided you with plenty of delay.
Yes, it would have been delayed regardless, I might conject.
Well, that is a very fun way to watch a game with like-minded strangers in a strange place. Yeah. Very similar to, someone who we won't mention, had been to a Country Living Fair. I went to a little fall festival that started at noon. I have a 1-year-old who lasts at events about an hour.
Yep.
And so I thought to myself,
you're playing the short game.
Yeah. So I'll go to this fall festival. I will enjoy it. I will spend time with my family, and then I will come home. My game will be DVR'd, and I will slowly catch up throughout the game.
Yeah, breaking the commercials.
This all worked out very well. We got home about 1:45, and my DVR worked properly. Recorded everything.
That's important.
Except when it comes to fast-forwarding through commercials. It did not fast-forward through commercials. It would forward through the commercials, but I would not call it fast. So I really did not gain as much time as I thought I was going to gain.
Now, if you had to put a multiple in front of how fast it was
I would say it cut the amount of commercial time in half.
Okay, so you're at a 2x.
It claimed to be 4x, but it was lying. It was lying. So, still taking a couple of minutes to get through these commercials, not catching up much at all.
Yeah.
I was not spoiled by anybody. I have a little text conversation with some brothers-in-law. They hadn't spoiled it at all. I asked them, hey, where is the game in real time? Don't tell me anything, but I just finished the half. It's going to take me a long time to fast forward through halftime. Should I watch the third quarter, or should I just go live now? And I was told, no, watch the third quarter, so I do.
Absolutely.
And then it becomes about 4:15 in the afternoon. I know the game is close to being over.
Now you're talking 4:15, real time.
Real time.
Real life.
I noticed that my DVR is dwindling with time remaining.
Yes.
I did not extend it because I don't believe the DVR I'm using on this online service does not really have that.
Well, and also you're watching a regulation football game, which is supposed to end.
Well, but it never does. If this was the old days and I had my Cablevision cable box, I would just extend it 2 hours and just get, the Channel 19 fifth quarter with two people who have giant hands and two people who have normal size hands. Anyway, I receive a text on this brothers-in-law text chat that says a single word, and that word is Jesus. And this could be taken a number of ways. Knowing the person who sent it, being my brother-in-law Pat.
A little bit of context there. Yeah.
The context is this is a bad thing that he expected to happen because he is amongst the most cynical Cleveland fans in the universe. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I need to know.
Yep.
I flip on my Google app, swipe over, see that it's tied 9-9 with 5 minutes left in overtime. And I say, screw the fourth quarter. I'm going live. I skip out of DVR.
This is a quantum leap that you performed
on
here.
The antenna and watch the conclusion of the game.
This is a Scott Bakula.
This is a very leap. We're going to dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slam in the back of Scott Bakula, star of NCIS New Orleans. Brought to you by Twitter.
Happy birthday, Scott.
Scott, happy birthday. Also, anyway, so yeah. Again, the collective will of quantum leaping me going forward was enough to push the ball with your Houston-led efforts through the uprights. And it took every ounce of it, and we are all thankful for it. We got a new segment this week, something that I think you guys are going to like, from a familiar voice. So let's give it up to our special guest feature who will introduce himself.
You're listening to the Browns Friday Fumble, and this is Devin Cajuste with this week's Cajuste Kindness Corner. I want to give a big shout out to Darren Fells because he is the man. He is the best teammate. He is a brother. He is a great leader. He's also a dad. So, he's probably got that going for him. So a huge shout out to Darren Fells. Thank you. Number 88, follow him on the Browns. And back to you, Dave and Dylan.
So, Dave, I'm very excited about what we have coming up next. I don't know. You guys are familiar with the mic'd up segments.
Video going around on Twitter, posted by the Cleveland Browns, your only Browns news source, of your quarterback, Baker Mayfield, mic'd up for the game. You can hear his innermost feelings, thoughts, observations. We had a little take on this. We have our own little wrinkle here. We have, we went through the Waiting for Next Year acquisition office, and we acquired a couple of lavalier mics. We don't use them personally, but what we did do was contact our friend and Waiting for Next Year colleague, Frank Ryan, and we have had him mic'd up for the game.
Yes.
Now, if you've seen this guy on Twitter, or the stuff he writes, this guy gets fired up.
Rowdy. There's no other way to put it.
His takes are hot and fresh.
Brilliant. I mean, I've never seen somebody do... This is otherworldly stuff.
Yeah. So we've got this guy mic'd up for the game. We haven't had a chance to listen to what he said yet.
I mean, I got to be honest. I've never watched a game with him.
No.
But let me tell you, the commentary... Just being at a bar with this guy.
Oh, man, it's got to be
just
amazing.
Social commentary.
It's got to be amazing.
Cutting.
So, we've got a couple of highlights
I can't wait.
From the game. We'll kind of tell you about the highlights, and then we'll play his mic'd up segments, kind of sync them up. You know, this is not a video podcast, so we can't sync up the videos.
Yeah. You can play along at home.
But, play along at home here. So, first one... We got a little bit of a negative highlight.
Well, but you got to take the it's a yin and yang sort of ball game.
You take the good, you take the bad, and the facts of life. There's another line there that rhymes with bad.
A tale of two halves.
It's a tale of two halves. So, Baker Mayfield throws an interception.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to
get ready
for some skewering, Mr. Mayfield.
Yeah, let's get Frank's take on this.
Oh, no, he picked it off. Must have been some miscommunication there.
Well, not really a skewering.
Well, it was early.
Yeah, it was early. Maybe he wasn't super angry or anything like that. But, okay. Well.
Not a lot of mesquite barbecue chips consumed yet. Probably.
Right. So, okay, now we're going a little bit later in the game. Finally, some positive things for the Browns.
Yeah.
Look, we're ready for some excitement, some passion.
Well, you're not going to get up and cheer for an interception, from the opposing team in the first quarter.
But guess what? Interception for our team, that's got to be big. So let's hear it. This is on Denzel Ward's pick that saved a touchdown.
Would love to keep them out of the end zone here. Oh, wow, Ward intercepted it. What a great draft pick.
That was really just sensible. I mean, he didn't say anything wrong. I expected a little more passion. But
I mean, honestly, some of us can use that kind of reason.
Well, I will say it's early in the game, and Browns fans are so snake bitten. It's tough to get super excited about something because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Of course,
so
always another shoe.
Okay, well, let's stick with the Buckeye from Ohio State University,
Rookie
Denzel Ward, Rookie of the Year candidate, with this block of a field goal.
It's just stunning.
Amazing.
Another level.
Yeah. So let's see what Frank had to say about this bad boy.
Wow, he blocked the kick. This could be a factor later.
Is he some sort of robot? Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, that one was...
that was a really exciting moment.
Fired up there. That's...
Okay.
But again, maybe I overreact.
Honestly, defensive highlights aren't always...
Yeah.
Somebody could be an offensive guy.
And that was even... that was special teams.
Special teams even. It's like, okay, not that important to me.
Yeah.
But coming up next...
I don't really understand special teams.
Yeah. Baker runs the 2-minute drill, leads him down the field, hits Higgins
touchdown
with a beautiful pass for a touchdown.
My goodness.
They roll out the red carpet for him.
I had to visit the bathroom immediately after this happened.
Oh, man.
I'm just telling you.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So let's see what Frank has to say about this one.
Excellent throw there, right on the money. Good job.
Well, end of the first half, the Browns had deferred, so I guess we get the kick back. Maybe he was just thinking positive.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on to the second half. Big Landry reception.
Oh, huge. Honestly, if Landry is a game changer, we know this just from the small sample size that we've gotten in these in the past 4 games up until this one. He's a game changer.
Game changer.
And anytime he touches the ball,
it's electric. He could take it to the house.
Oh my gosh, the way he comes down with it, and he's not giving it up. He's not coughing it up, and that alone gets me out of my seat, pumping my fist, yelling, scaring my kids.
We're getting near the end of the game. This has got to be where he turns it on. All right, let's hear from Frank.
Let's do it.
Honey, these wings are great. Out of this world. Oh, wait, did I just miss a big play?
Okay, well, let's back to some negative emotions here from Frank.
Yeah.
This is the end of regulation, the missed 55-yarder.
Yeah. This one was unbearable.
I think this one's going to hit you right in the feels.
Oh, well, that was a pretty long attempt. I'm sure we'll get a good chance in overtime.
This one mostly has me curious about what flavor wings those were.
Yeah.
We've got to talk to him about that, get some of those wings. Let's move on.
Can I just got to say, for the listeners, this Frank is like, I mean, he gets it, okay? So I don't want you guys to think that maybe he doesn't know. I mean, Frank is the man when it comes to this sort of commentary. So, maybe let's just, like you said, let's just keep listening. We got the Willie's reception, undrafted rookie.
Baker Mayfield escapes the pressure.
Gosh, this is a moment.
And then gets us those chunk plays that only seem to happen against us. This time we got one for us.
I mean, this is Brett Favrean.
Yeah. So let's hear this one, Frank.
Wow, I thought Baker was going to get sacked there, but he evaded it and gets it to the receiver for a large amount of yards. This could be the play that sets up the win.
All right,
okay, I get it.
You know what?
As a Browns
everything's
fan,
leading up to the end here.
Yeah, you got to be reticent the entire game long. Yep. I get it.
Until that clock says 0, and I said this at the Jets
Frank
game.
Frank is smart.
Until the clock says 0, 0, 0, then I wait 5 minutes. Then I celebrate. Because I'm always waiting for that call to come in from New York to say, no, that wasn't good after all.
So I wait. Invalidated game win. And
yes,
Frank is a very smart man. He's
vacate your wins. So Frank is ready here, though. Yeah. Game winner.
This is the one.
Got tipped. Went through anyway. And the big one. The game-winning kick. Let's hear it from Frank. Now we're going to feel the fire.
On the mic. When we mic up these guys.
Wow, at first glance, that kick didn't look like it was going in. But it did. That's the difference in the game. I am pretty satisfied with this win.
God damn it. Now it is time for some Browns news.
From the only news source, Dave, what is that?
www.clevelandbrowns.com/news.
Yes, sir. So, top of the docket here, we've got Top Dog, Bite 'em all.
Top of the doggett, more like.
Top of the doggett, Top Dog, Bite 'em all. Snoop Dogg arrived in Berea on Wednesday for informal talks with Director of Football Operations, Moose Dog, MOOSEDOGG.
Moose Dog!
To discuss the impact that the Dog Pound is having on the global scope of human-to-canine relations. The summit received positive marks. Representatives of both Mr. DOGGs were satisfied with the direction that talks were heading, and that the showdown on Sunday afternoon was sure to be fresh dressed like $1,000,000. Threw on my white socks with my all-blue chucks.
Now, one thing about this visit, of course, this visit from Snoop Dogg, he went to practice, he stopped in on Cleveland Browns Daily.
Caught some passes.
Caught a couple of passes. I didn't want to be the one to say this.
Great hands, by the way.
But, it seems harsh. It seems like something...
give it to us, Dave.
But
give it to us
silver lining here, this is the type of visit that couldn't happen when Josh Gordon was here. And so now we can have it. So, we have a few nice things now.
Conoce a tu enemigo. Esta semana, los marrones de Cleveland Browns a los Chargers en el primer estadio de energía. Los Chargers entran en la semana 5 con un récord ganador en 3-2.
What is going on?
Well, I knew that we needed some translation services this week, so I asked my buddy Roger to come.
Why do we need translation services? It's just another game.
Well, for Know Your Foe.
Why would we need anything different?
Well, we're facing La Chargers.
No. It's the L.A. Chargers.
No,
the Los Angeles Chargers. They moved.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I see what happened. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Now, this isn't all bad, much like the Josh Gordon situation. Silver lining here that actually kind of introduces the city and the team and the people of the city really, really well, because these losers don't know what or who they are anymore.
Yeah, Dave, you're right. You know, LA already has football in the form of Magic Johnson's LAFC, Los Angeles Football Club.
Yep. Snoop Dogg has that Little League team.
Yeah, very successful. Ice Cube's 92 Raiders.
Scared the hell out of me. Not to mention the formerly Cleveland to Los Angeles, then to St. Louis, and now back to L.A. Rams.
You know, I'm reading this off of a page right now, and even I'm so friggin' confused. I mean, this is a big problem.
We have notes.
How do they keep track?
And did the people in San Diego still cheer for these idiots? I mean, do they drive up?
Think about that drive, Dave. I mean, coming home from a L.A. game to San Diego on a Sunday evening.
Ugh.
Jesus. Well, okay. Let's talk about that move, though, from San Diego real quick.
It just seems like a dumb move.
You've got everything you need down in the patron St. Diego City. You got the gas lamp district, which you're familiar with.
I'm familiar with the gas lamp.
You got aircraft carriers and
also
submarines.
Familiar with that.
Our Navy boys.
Oh, man.
A friggin' zoo full of animals.
A ridiculous zoo. With a CD-ROM that it has?
I mean, on the cutting edge of zoological research.
Yes.
They moved that team up to that garbage bin up north.
Yeah, let's add some freeways to the middle of our city. You know what? This would be like making a move from Cleveland to Detroit. And it's like for a bunch of reasons.
Yeah. Notably, Detroit, like L.A., already has football. They're called the Tigers, and they play football.
Mm-hmm. Detroit, like L.A., is north of the place we would rather be.
Yeah. Dave, nothing original has ever happened in Detroit besides Motown and cool-ass cars from the 50s and 60s. But, similarly, nothing original has ever come out of L.A. Just a bunch of repackaged art that originated in America's real cities and towns and was swallowed up by the glitz and repurposed into marketing copy, just like the friggin' Chargers.
Let's take a look at that roster.
All right. Former partner of Kell, Keenan Allen.
Son of Browns defensive end Myles Garrett, Russell Okung.
Mentor to Corey Matthews, Dan Feeney. Principal Dan Feeney.
Mr. Feeney to you and me. Jazz guitarist Michael Schofield.
Criminal turned real estate investor Joe Barksdale.
Your buddy's fantasy team QB this week, Phillip Rivers.
Probably the brother of JJ and TJ Watt, Derek Watt.
Seasonal cereal, only available to play in the month of October, Scott Frankenberry.
Yeah, you got to get out there and buy them up quick. The thing your printer is out of, Cole Toner.
From the University of Alabama, Forrest Lamp.
I love Lamp. Tight end Antonio Gates. Seriously, Antonio Gates is still on the Chargers, guys. That's a real stat.
Former NFL wide receiver Travis Benjamin.
Popular country, Germany Davis.
Home Alone star Sean Culkin.
Let's go over to the other side of the ball, Dave. The defense. From Ohio State University, Joey Bosa.
Famous four-sided shape, Damian Square.
In the corner of the end zone, the Darius Pylon.
Nose tackle, Brandon Insane in the Membane.
Brother of Melvin Gordon III, Melvin Ingram III, which makes them Melvins to the 9th.
Linebacker combo of Kyle Emmanuel Ellerby.
famous for his portrayal of super nerd Urkel, Jaleel Adai.
Evolutionary theorist Derwin James.
Rayshawn Jenkins!
Oh no, he went in. Stick to the plan.
You know what that brings us to, Dave?
Well, I hear the music a-playing, and that means...
The Baker Mayfield Baker's Dozen Top 6.
Now, let me explain if this is your first time listening to the podcast.
Yes. An explainer is necessary.
The Baker's Dozen is a common American... colloquialism where you would buy 12 pastries, cookies, donuts, any sort of confectionery from a baker. This man, being so sleep-addled
and jolly
would give you an extra donut to go over the 12 in your dozen, making it a baker's dozen, which is 13. So here we go, and we give you a top 6 because Baker Mayfield's number is 6. This week, the top 6 things that LA stole that everyone forgot that they stole.
Starting off at number 6, the LA Rams.
Number 5, the LA Chargers.
Number 4, the LA Dodgers.
Number 3, the LA Lakers.
Number 2, the LA Raiders.
And coming in at number 1, Allie Clifton. All right, Dylan. That time of the episode.
Brass tacks time.
It is time to use our expansive knowledge to tell you what's going to happen in this game. Chargers coming from across the country. They've got a long flight.
Very long flight.
They're probably going to have traffic delays getting to LAX because that's a nightmare. Unless they're going to fly out of Burbank or something. That's going to be a nightmare. They're going to show up late. They're going to show up tired. And they're going to be playing against a Browns defense, which is going to be ferocious.
And their quarterback is Phillip Rivers.
Still. And they're trotting out Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates and expecting to have a chance. And so, Dylan, what do you think is going to happen in the game?
Okay, so I've got this mind, Dave, that when I view a footballing roster, I'm able to pull out specific Q's and specific T's, dots, dotted lines, tosses,
jet sweeps,
pulls. I can see the guard pulling as a lead blocker, Dave, just by looking at the roster. Okay? I see this stuff.
Okay.
And I'm here to tell you, as an expert.
You're an expert. I will give you an expert card.
As one that understands the game of a football.
Oh.
Too close to call.
Understood. I think it is time for the Browns offense, led by Baker Mayfield, to break out of this little offensive slump that they've got going.
I hear you.
I think it's time, as Baker said, to open the floodgates.
Yep.
Make a reservation for 11 in the end zone. I'll have the ceviche trio.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a trio of touchdown passes to match a trio of Carlos Hyde touchdowns from an Ohio State University. That makes 6 touchdowns. 6 times 7.
And?
42. But we might miss a couple of PATs in there. I'm going to say Browns win 35-7. But they get 2 safeties and a field goal. No touchdowns allowed by the Browns defense.
Amazing. That is amazing analysis.
So, it's all set up for you guys. We can't bet anymore. We're out of money. And it was not from Browns betting. We did fine on our Browns bets. Some other bets did not come through.
They were the odds were very much not in our favor. We had
an inside track on the halftime wiener dog races. We knew a guy who had an excellent wiener dog, and the Browns turned him down. They said, your wiener dog has already raced, and you are no longer eligible. We'd like to give new wiener dogs a chance. And
I mean, I dumped my 401k into this dog.
Yeah, I paid a hefty fee to withdraw from that 401k early. I have a simple IRA. I had to pay 50% of it just to withdraw it. But this bet...
And that was just as punishment.
Anyway, let's all enjoy the game this week with no pressure. How about that?
No pressure, no bets.
No bets, no pressure. Let's just watch the game. All right, thank you for listening, folks. If you want to check us out on Twitter, you can do that at @FridayFumble, or individually, I am @Democo.
And I'm @Dylan B. Price.
And if you want to talk about Scott Bakula or any of the
That's what we're doing.
Hit CBS shows, tweet us about that, and then they'll start to show up in your events.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Frank Ryan for helping us out. Giant thanks to Devin Kajust for also helping us out. And we will catch you guys next week on another Victory Friday. Woo, woo. This has been your Browns Friday, a Fumble.